Microsoft.
So lately I've been working on this in-depth review for a game called Suikoden. Classic PS1 RPG, but it's taken a lot longer than I thought. So in the meantime, thought I'd take a look at a couple of the standout indies that I've picked up in recent days. So this time out, let's take a look at the game entitled PID. PID is an indie side-scroller where you play as a little boy who's trying to get home. Now you have, as the gimmick of the game, you have this little beam of light thing that you kind of throw like a grenade, and it makes a big column that lifts you up or anything else in its path. And you can kind of use that to get around all sorts of obstacles, or you can use it to push enemies away depending on the circumstances. And as far as innovation goes, that's really it. That's the gimmick. And they built a side-scroller based on that. And when I say side-scroller, I mean side-scroller, as in the old-fashioned side-scroller. There's no Metroidvania element here. It's essentially just go to the right whenever you can, and when you can't go to the right, there's usually a locked door, and you need to look around and figure out how to unlock the door, usually by pressing some sort of switch, or maybe putting a box on the switch to hold it down. All stuff we've seen before, but it's very stylized and done very well. Now, stylized to the point where it's visually appealing, but not to the point where it feels like an artsy-fartsy game, which I think is, especially when attached to indie side-scrollers, artsy-fartsy is sort of something that has become a stigma, I guess, as of late. But that's not the case here. This is a fun game. It's a good game to play. It's a good time. I'm not exactly sure how it got a Metacritic of 63, but I don't think that's 100% fair. One of the standout moments in the game for me was the very first boss fight, where you fight this great big waiter/janitor sort of thing, and when you break plates, he comes to sweep you up with a giant dustpan. I thought that was pretty cool. That's PID in a nutshell. It's classic side-scrolling, very stylized. There is a gimmick to it, but it's not too bad. It's not so complicated that you can't play it with an old controller. I use a Gravis Gamepad Pro that I got from the thrift store for $3.50. It does the job just fine. There's no need for analog sticks if you don't have them. Steam and GOG.com both have it for $9.99. Anyway, guys, that's it for this time. I got another indie game I want to show you on the next video, and then after that, we'll get to Suikoden. This is Critical Failure for TigerClawTV, signing off.